our age, it's like surfing is optional.
Not anymore.
Just change one letter. Surfering is optional. And so I think that, and this is for the guy side of the audience. You guys tell me about the other hormones, but when testosterone drops, our invincibility just goes out the window. And now what? You know, we have to kind of like walk instead of run.
Yeah.
Well, and we're as good ones as we ever was, et cetera, et cetera. But there's this vulnerability that's just, mortality is what this is about. This is like, okay, my spine's wearing down, I'm aging, how long can I do this? I'm doing it now, and I think I'm high, but maybe I'm just blissed out because my pain's better because I'm taking this pain pill. But maybe I shouldn't be, maybe this is a younger man's game. You know, I think that's mortality facing it. And turns out that you're a master and you know, you're Yoda, they're Luke, you know, and you've got to train them.
You can always get some Amber gel.
Yeah, yeah.
Viagra,
Well,
Cialis, you know, that's all there.
Big complication with opiates is they drop your testosterone levels. So
they need androgen.
Yeah, a lot of people on chronic opiates have low testosterone. So you're onto something. And of course,
Androgel sounds like a real
there's a lot of complications
dangerous
from it.
drug.
You know, there's cardiovascular stuff. There's all kinds of things.
Androgel is testosterone.
Yeah.
It's a topical testosterone.
Yeah. So I think that's a great inquiry. I don't necessarily know that there's an answer, but it's, so just want to thank you for being responsible enough to ask the question, who should be in front of 10-year-olds? Well, I'm going to propose that it should be you. You know, until you're on a gurney. You know, I mean, even in a wheelchair, it should be you.
People
Am I
are
right?
People are fairly self-centered. I mean, all of us are. And I used to go to work on no sleep at all. Sometimes 2 or 3 nights in a row. And no one would notice. I mean, it's
Under 30.
incredible.
Under 30.
When I was under 30?
Yeah.
Well, I was in my 30s,
Yeah,
around
okay.
40. But no one would. I haven't slept in 3 days and no one notices. Because they're all locked in their own heads.
Yeah. Well, that's where we live.
Yeah.
That's the projection that we're seeing.
And maybe your 10-year-olds they are locked in their own heads, probably. So they're not noticing any change in you.
10-year-olds are still pretty keyed into the adults that are
Their sense is,
paying attention to it. You know, once they get into getting close to 11, they start moving away from that.
yeah.
But no, you're right. There are a lot of people who are in their own heads, and you know, how many times do you hear people, you know, saying things like, "It's not my job," which I just feel like.
At a school, you hear that?
Oh,
I hear that upstairs.
yeah. I mean, don't you hear it every place?
Yeah, it's like that's.
Yeah. And it's
We are like
Jesus.
constantly battling the "it's not my job"
Yeah.
phenomenon.
Are you alive?
Yeah.
Well, as a doctor, you would just say, I'm not comfortable with that. I think they teach that in med school.
Well, they teach it at pharmacy school. I'll tell you that.
Not comfortable is, put that up there along with suffering is optional.
Oh man, you are on something.
We're
there.
on to
That's a really, really good comeback. I am so uncomfortable with that. Rather than saying.
But that's what doctors tell me.
And what do you say?
The conversation's over. The conversation's over. They're not gonna prescribe it. That means no. And you are not gonna change your mind.
Yeah.
So forget it. Conversation's over, you leave. That's the end of the
Why
conversation.
waste your time? You're talking.
It is. You're like talking to a doctor, sorry doc, is like reading poetry to a dog.
We're lab rats. And we just definitely stimulation A, result B.
Because you know, they're looking
All
at you.
day long.
And the doctor's looking at you like this.
So you can
And
say.
then they go to their flow chart, and, oh, holy, you're
So-
not on my flow chart.
Did you bring any biscuits with you? Because you know what, the drug reps figured this out. You know, at noon, the break room's full of food. And if you bring donuts, you might just score. I'm just saying, you know. You can get around this by Pavlovian responses. But have you ever said to them, you know, it's not about your comfort, it's about mine?